All right, let's dive in. You hear it everywhere, right? The AI gold rush is here. It feels like everyone is talking about building the next big thing. But what if you're not some Silicon Valley coder? How do you even get started? Well, that's what we're going to break down today. 3 totally different paths anyone can take to build their own AI venture. So the real question is, where do you fit in this new world? Let's figure it out.
Okay, first things first. Let's just wrap our heads around the sheer scale of what we're talking about. Look at this number, $91.6 billion. That's what the global AI market is projected to be worth by 2028. I mean, this isn't just a trend, it's a massive industry-changing wave. And the best part? There's more than one way for you to grab a slice of that pie.
Look, I know what you might be thinking when you see a number that big. Sure, that's awesome for Google or Microsoft, but what about me? And that's a fair thought. But here's the thing that's so revolutionary. The barrier to entry for these kinds of businesses, it's lower than it has ever been. Seriously, thanks to all these new tools and platforms, actually building something valuable with AI is no longer just for the big guys.
So that really brings us to the big question, right? The whole point of this explainer. We're past the "is AI a big deal" question. We know it is. The real question is, how can you build a piece of it? How can you personally tap into this technology to build something new, something that makes money, and something that's, well, yours?
So, to help you answer that, we've come up with a really simple framework. We're calling it 3 Paths to Creation. And you can think of it like a guide, a map to this whole AI business world that helps you figure out where to go based on what you can do, what you have, and what you want to achieve.
And here they are. These are our 3 main personas, if you will. The coder, the builder, and the creator. Now, each of these represents a completely different way of thinking about and building with AI. And let me be clear, one isn't better than the others. They're just different. They need different skills, and they lead you to create totally different things.
All right, this little chart here gives us a perfect snapshot of what we're talking about. So you've got the coder. This is the traditional path, right? Deep technical skills, writing code, building a custom app from scratch. Then there's the builder. They're using these powerful low-code tools to kind of piece together solutions. They're focused more on business logic, not so much on the nitty-gritty programming. And finally, we have the creator. This person uses AI as a tool to make and sell information products. Their key skill? Domain expertise. And all that really means is you know a lot about something specific. Could be marketing, could be ancient history, could be knitting for all I know. So let's dig into each of these a little deeper.
Okay, let's start with path number 1, the coder's way. Now, this is probably what pops into your head when you think about someone starting an AI company. We're talking about the ground-up approach. It requires serious technical chops, writing a ton of custom code, and basically creating a brand new piece of software from nothing. So what does a coder's project actually look like? Well, here's a perfect example. Imagine an AI-powered tool that automatically screens resumes for recruiters. This thing would use natural language processing to just churn through hundreds, maybe thousands of resumes, figure out who the best candidates are, and save those recruiters a ridiculous amount of time. It's a classic, super valuable use of AI.
But, and this is a big but, building something like that is not easy. It's a serious undertaking. You're looking at the entire AI development lifecycle here. This is a super rigorous process with a ton of stages. You need experts in data science, in training the models, in integrating the software, and then you have to maintain the whole thing. It is complex, it takes a long time, and it eats up a lot of resources.
And all that complexity? Yeah, it comes with a pretty hefty price tag. For a project that's even medium-sized, you could be looking at anywhere from $200,000 to over $1 million. And that money isn't just for paying developers. You're paying for huge data sets, for the insane amount of computer power you need to train the models, and for the super specialized, hard-to-find talent that can pull it all off. So the takeaway here is simple. The coder's path is incredibly powerful, for sure, but that barrier to entry is really high.
Okay, so what if you don't have $1 million and a team of PhDs lying around? Well, that's where our second path comes in, the builder's way. This path is way more accessible. It's all about using platforms that already exist to assemble AI tools, and you don't have to be a coding genius to do it. It's kind of the perfect middle ground.
And the key piece of tech that makes the builder's path possible is something called low-code AI. The best way to think about it is like a set of super-powered Lego bricks for AI. The platform handles all the really complicated coding in the background. Your job is just to focus on snapping the pieces together. The logic, the user interface, often with simple drag-and-drop tools. And when you put the 2 paths side by side, the difference is just stark. You've got the coder's way, slow, complicated, expensive. And then you have the builder's low-code approach. visual, super fast to get something working, and way, way cheaper. It really does open up the ability to build powerful, custom software to so many more people.
So what are we actually talking about here? What can a builder build? Well, a whole lot, actually. We're mostly talking about internal business tools that solve really specific and often really annoying problems. For example, a custom dashboard that pulls all your sales data from 5 different places and puts it in one clean spot. Or an automated invoicing tool that saves someone hours of boring admin work every single week. See, these aren't just little toys. They're high-value apps that make a business run smoother and can have a real impact on the bottom line.
So if this builder path sounds like it might be for you, here are a few of the big names in the space you should probably check out. Platforms like Retool, Appian, and Microsoft Power Apps, they're really leading the way here. They give you the toolkit you need to build these powerful internal tools, and you can often do it with little to no actual coding. You can literally take an idea and turn it into a working app in a matter of days, not months or years.
All right, and that brings us to our third and final path, which is honestly the most accessible one of all, the creator's way. This one requires absolutely zero coding, none. Instead, it's all about using the AI tools that are already out there. Think ChatGPT, Midjourney, as your creative sidekick to generate valuable info products that you can then turn around and sell.
And the possibilities here are just huge. I mean, we're talking about everything from writing and selling ebooks, to creating entire online courses, to designing unique patterns you can sell on Etsy, or even starting up a paid newsletter about that one niche topic you're obsessed with. The AI essentially becomes your researcher, your writer, and your designer, all rolled into one.
Let's make this real for a second. Check out this case study. There was this college student who decided to try using ChatGPT to help him write and sell ebooks online. Pretty simple idea, right? He picked a topic he knew about, used the AI to help him outline everything and draft out the chapters, and then he just started putting it out there.
And the result? You're not going to believe this. In his very first year, his little AI-powered ebook business brought in $390,000. And that's not just revenue, that's pure profit. It's just an insane example of the kind of leverage AI can give to one person working on their own. Okay, if you thought that was crazy, it gets even better. Here's another example. A different entrepreneur used AI to help create and launch an online course, another super popular type of info product where you just package up what you know into lessons people can buy.
Get this. In the first 24 hours after he launched the course, he made $106,000. Just like that. That is the power of the creator path. You create something digital one time, and you can sell it over and over and over again. And AI just makes that creation process insanely fast.
So there you have it. We've walked through 3 totally different ways to get into the AI game. You've got the super technical coder, the clever tool-using builder, and the expert creator. So now the big question is, which one are you? And if you boil it all down to just one thing, it's really about how much technical skill you need. This chart makes it super clear. The amount of coding knowledge you need drops off a cliff as you go from coder to builder to creator. The builder path is a nice spot in the middle, but the creator path, that is wide open for just about anyone who knows a lot about something and is willing to share it.
And that really brings us to the final takeaway here. The AI revolution, it's not some single highway that only certain people can get on. It's more like a huge open landscape with a bunch of different paths leading into it. So you've got to look at your own skills, what you're passionate about, and what you have to work with. So I'll leave you with this question. Coder, builder, or creator, which path will you take? Because whatever the answer is, that's your starting line for building your own piece of the future.